Am I the a-hole for no longer cooking for wife after she drunkenly admitted she wished her male co-worker could cook for her instead? My wife and I have been married for 7 years and together for 10. A couple years ago, my wife had a male co-worker who used to cook for the office often. My wife used to always rave about his food, and it admittedly made me insecure, also because he looked like a Greek model. I had also started cooking for wife around that time. I was never a serious cook, but I decided to give it a shot. Prior to then, I only used to cook basic food, but I decided to try cooking complex meals. However, a lot of times it didn't come out great. My wife used to help me, but I never was serious about it. One night, my wife was drunk, and we just had a beef Wellington I had cooked. It was sort of a disaster, and my wife and I were both laughing about it. However, my wife then drunkenly admitted she wished her male co-worker could cook for her every day. I didn't fully grasp what she was saying as I was really drunk, but my wife realized what she said and she apologized. I told her it was all right and that it was probably some attempted joke. However, the next day, I grasped what she was saying, and I felt really deflated. My wife sensed it and apologized again, and after taking a day to think about it, I told my wife let's not make a big deal about it, but also, I was never going to cook for her ever again. My wife again apologized and almost started crying, but I told her it was all in the past, and let's move on. It's been 2 years since then, and my wife and mine's relationship is stronger than ever. Over the past couple of years, I have also spent a lot of time taking cooking lessons from my sister, who's a really good cook. I learned that cooking just takes a lot of consistent practice, and you can't just learn it over the internet. You need to acquire the skill. And I can now confidently say I am a much better cook than I was a couple of years ago. I cook for friends, and for my family or my wife's family when they come over. The food I'm the most proud of, and which I got a lot of compliments on, is the Valencian paella I made when my wife's family came over for Christmas. However, in spite of the progress I've made, I can't find it in me to cook for my wife alone. I still remember the hurt and insecurity I felt a couple of years ago. My wife even stopped speaking to and taking food from the co-worker after that incident, and the co-worker has even left the company since. But I still can't find it in me to cook a romantic dinner for my wife. My wife has asked me a few times, and she says she's willing to do anything to repent or take accountability. But I tell my wife I've already forgiven her a couple of years ago. It's just that I cannot mentally bring myself to ever cook for her. Am I the a-hole? Update. Pretty much all of the comments told me I was very wrong and what I was doing was cruel to my wife. It was never my intention to be cruel to my wife. It was all about my mental health, but I understand now how it can be perceived as being cruel. I didn't want to make a big deal of it, so I told my wife this morning I would start cooking for her tonight and make her a special dinner. My wife was very excited and hugged and thanked me, and I am nervous and excited and looking forward to opening this new chapter in our lives. I, however, reminded my wife again how she had almost destroyed my love for cooking a couple of years ago. I also gave my wife an analogy. My sister told me this morning to tell this analogy to make my wife understand the impact of what she said a couple of years ago. I asked my wife how would she feel if I drunkenly admitted to preferring hugs from Vanessa. Vanessa is my close childhood friend, because Vanessa has a softer and more feminine feel to her. I asked my wife if she would get over that comment even if I apologized the rest of our lives. And my wife admitted she wouldn't be able to get over that comment, and she apologized again for what she said a couple of years ago. But having said all that, I am really excited about tonight. I plan on making my wife lemon butter lobster risotto and serve it with a glass of white wine. I hope to make it as romantic as possible, and I hope it comes out good.